Hello everybody. Today we're quickly going to go over pathology stocks. Now, what is pathology stocks? Well, pathology is a way to diagnose patients, and they do it by looking at a image with a microscope, and they see cellular changes, and they discover stuff like, do this patient have cancer? And other very important diagnoses. Now, traditionally, this has been done by a doctor looking at a sort of slider with a microscope, like a physical microscope. But what we can see is that there's a lot of companies out there that are working in this area with innovation and coming up with new technology to help patients and improve care around the world. So what we can see today is a digitalization of the industry and a digitalization of the diagnosis process. So instead of looking at a slider image via a microscope, doctors today in advanced hospitals can look at the image online on a computer in a digital microscope. And the value to customers is faster healthcare, and this of course creates a value proposition. And we can see some challenges to this whole trend with the need for AI, with the potential to have a computer program make the diagnoses that will improve it tremendously, and then we need some app development to make that happen. But when we talk about pathology stocks, I'm gonna do an example and compare this to the gold rush. Now, if you look at the Old West, there were a lot of gold diggers going out there, and some of them struck gold, some of them didn't. But the persons that got rich were the ones selling the shovels to the gold diggers. Now, who sells the shovels in this example? Well, it's the people that sell the equipment needed to make a digital copy of the imaging required to make a diagnosis. And we can see a number of companies that do this today and that work very hard on the development. A Swedish example of this would be Sectra AB that work in this field, but we can see a lot of other companies out there in the world that are leading development as well. This is a trend to be aware of within the medical field, and I hope that you all learned something today about pathology stocks. Thank you very much for listening.